everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle. And in this particular battle, we used the rules for Undead Legion. We didn't use any of the army parts. We didn't use like the Lore of Undeath. I don't have any VC or Undead Legion units in here. I just have the same army that I played from the previous two games. Or two battle reports anyway, but we did use the Undead Legion where I could march. There was no crumble check, stuff like that. So it's kind of like a watered down version of it. It was late. I was tired and I had a headache, a really bad one. But I will never turn down a game of fantasy because I'm an addict and daddy needs his bumps. So sit back, relax, and get to see how I do up against the Bretonnians because it's me, Lord Tremendous of the Tomb Kings, versus Duke Fuddy Duddy of the Bretonnians. And yeah, very, very good game.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and you've seen it 164,000 times. I have my Tomb King, Bone Lord Tremendous. He's got the Sword of Antiheroes, Armor, Silvered Steel, and Dawnstone. Next up is my Lich High Priest, Queen Elizabeth, who's a level 4 wizard, Staff of Sorcery, and Lauren Nehekara. My hero choices are a Necrotech, Dark Vincent with the Dragon Helm, and a Lich Priest, Sinister Jeffrey with level 2, Dispel Scroll, and Laura Light. My core choices are 58 Skeleton Warriors with full command, light armor, and shields, 13 Skeleton Archers with full command, 5 Skeleton Horsemen with archers and a I'm sorry, 5 Skeleton Horsemen Archers with a banner. Yeah, Horsemen with archers. Yeah, okay, I'm retarded. And then, of course, my 3 Chariots with Banner Musician and the Banner of Eternal Flame. My special choices consist of a Chimerian War Sphinx with Fiery Roar, 3 Carrion, and 3 Medusa Stalkers. I know that's not what they're really called, but that's what I'm calling them from now on because the S word scares the heck out of me. Then my rare choices are my Necrosphinx, my Hyro Titan, Nad the Protector, my Screaming Skull Catapult, and my Casket of Souls. And I actually got my opponent's list, which consists of thus. He has a Lord on a Warhorse, go figure, with the Sword of the Lady's Champion, Armor of Destiny, Dragonbane Gem, and Potion of Foolhardiness. He's also got a Prophetess of the Lady, who is a level 4 wizard on a Warhorse with the Book of Asher and the Mane of the Pure Breed. I believe she was a Lore of Life. And his hero choices were a Paladin, who was his BSB on a Warhorse, with Charm Shield, Virtue of Duty. He had 2 damsels, both were level 1, both were on warhorses, one had the Silver Mirror and one had the Dispel Scroll. So he had 2 Dispel Scrolls, basically. And then he had another Paladin on a warhorse with a Relic Sword, and a Paladin on a Royal Pegasus with the Enchanted Shield and the Virtue of Heroism. Basically, he had Heroic Killing Blow, because, yeah. His core choices were a unit of 40 Peasant Bowmen with Banner Musician, 7 Knights Errant with full command and the Banner of Swiftness, 8 Knights Errant with full command and the banner of Shalon, or whatever. I have no idea how to say that. Chalon? Chalon? Salon? Chalon. His special choice consists of 3 Pegasus Knights with full command, and his rare choice was a unit of 9 Grail Knights with Banner Musician and the Valoris Standard. Here are my spells, which are awesome. And here are his spells, which are less awesome. Here's deployment, and I gotta be honest with you, I wanted to see what my army could do against these guys, so I deployed right in the middle. I kinda grouped up like I'm supposed to, but I also did like the spread effect like you're seeing. I wanted to know what these guys could do. First of all, this was my 3rd game with the Necrosphinx, and there's a ton of kill. In fact, almost everything in his army can be killing blowed. So I really wanted to get the Necrosphinx into a combat with one of his lances and just see how good this thing really was. Because while I love the model, obviously I'm not using the right model, but while I love the model and how I could put it in the list, I'm really falling out of love with the whole idea of a Necrosphinx. So this is going to be the make or break. I also had my War Sphinx and my Titan on the right flank, or my right side, I should say, not really my right flank, because I knew he had to go around the house in order to get to me. So whoever came around the house, I was hopefully going to be able to charge rather easily, because, well, it's not the easiest thing for him to go around the house, especially with that wide flank. The Carrion were on the right flank there to basically deter or redirect things that came near me, like I guess chaff is supposed to work. My skeleton warriors were right there because I knew everything was going to come to me. There was no reason to move, so I just left it in the middle, and whatever got to me first was going to die. My chariots were going to try to deal with the Pegasus Knights, and that's why I moved my skeleton archers where they are. They actually aren't right there. I couldn't move them correctly. They're actually kind of I don't know, halfway down that hill, but facing the Pegasus archers. I just couldn't get him to sit there right because it kept sliding off. And the idea there was he charges the skeleton archer horseman with his Pegasus, and if he overruns, he would need 11 or 12 to get away from my my counter-charging chariots. If he doesn't, then my chariots have no problem hitting him. So the hope was sacrifice the horseman archers that I don't really like anyway, and get the counter charge with the chariots, possibly into flank, and kill off his Pegasus knights before they really do any damage to me. With that being said, I had the casket and the what's it called? The catapult ready to do their thing. I was going to hopefully take some knights out, possibly even the bowman with my catapult. That was the hope. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of 3 Pegasus knights. And here's the center, which consists mostly of his bowman and 1 unit of knights errant with damsel. I think she had the silver mirror in there. Next up on his left flank, in the middle there, well, on the left side there is his Grail Knights, which had his Lord, his BSB, and his Prophetess in there. So that unit basically made up 50% of his army points, give or take. And then another unit of Knights Errant with the Damsel and the Paladin with the Relic Sword in there, I believe. I believe that Damsel had the Silvered Mirror. And right next to them is his Paladin on a Royal Pegasus. Here's my right flank, which consists of my Carrion. And here's my center. From right to left, there's my War Sphinx, my Titan, my Necro Sphinx, my Skeleton Warriors with Tomb King and Necrotech installed, my Archers with high and low level Lich Priest installed, my Catapult, my Casket, and my Chariots. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I got to go first, which was kind of cool. I finally get the dang Archer Horsemen to sit where they're supposed to sit. I kind of move the chariots around slightly. The Necrosphinx moves up because he can march 20 inches in this particular set of rules. Remember, we're using the Undead Legion rule, so yay! But the Necrosphinx was moved over by the house because nothing can shoot at it, nothing can see it, nothing can charge it. And if anything comes around the side of that house, I should be able to countercharge it into the flank. Basically, it makes it so that the entire right flank of the table is under his control. And if anything comes up behind him, I have my Titan, my Warriors, and other things to countercharge that. Or I could just bounce him over the damn house. I don't care if his archers shoot at me. So that was the plan with that particular setup. Other than that, the carry and stay where they were because there was no reason to let his Royal Pegasus charge me for no reason. During the magic phase, I'm able to get the casket off. I did throw like 5 dice at it. I think it was even irresistible, to be honest. I tried to get his Royal Pegasus, and he rolled like 2 1s and a 3, which sucked. So then I tried to get his unit of Knights Errant, and I killed 1. It bounced over to his Grail Knights, and he rolls like 2 1s and a 2 this time. I was like, ah! Now, I say that. It was on his rerolls because he had his BSB there. So, kind of sucked. Could have been a lot better, but he had a BSB. I should have probably went after his Pegasus Knights. I didn't. More's the pity. But, you know, I got 1 Knight Errant, and, well, that sucks. Then I was able to get Bubble Ward off on these guys over here, just more as an insurance thing than anything else. So I felt pretty good about that. However, it was a miscast 9.
No! You must not read from the book!
Yeah, I roll it, and both my high and low priest take a wound, but my high priest was able to ward save it. My low level priest was not able to do the ward save, and he took a wound, and it hurt really, really bad. And it made me sad a little bit, but yeah, that's what happens on the old miscast. He read from the book. What can you do? Then, because I want to stay consistent, my catapult shoots at his unit of Grail Knights. I was trying to pop the damsel. Yeah, I know it's a 1 in 6 chance that she's going to fail her Lookout Sir roll, but I figured well, I'm sorry, it was his Prophetess, but I figured, you know, maybe she doesn't have any real defensive stuff on her. One way to find out, maybe I'll get lucky, and if not, hey, there's a lot of wounds going over to his knights. Maybe I could get 1. Maybe they'll be scared. Who knows? But it was a direct hit, and then I misfired 6. So I couldn't shoot this turn because awesome. So, with all that said and done, we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement. And as you can see, his Pegasus Knights do charge my Horseman Archers, which is fine. I don't like that unit anyway. His other units of knights, they move up cautiously. He just wanted to be able to see the rear of my Necrosphinx, which was fine. I had an idea. I wanted to see the Necrosphinx in combat, so I had every intention of letting him charge. So you'll see what happens in a minute. His Royal Pegasus Paladin flies way over to my right flank, just get angles, I guess, because he's got Heroic Killing Blow. He needs to get him into the monsters. His one unit of Knights Errant don't really move at all, and his Grail Knights come up very cautiously, which is good. I was able to stem his movement phase, which is good because it was really fast, giving me another opportunity in magic and shooting to deal stuff with him. There's a better picture of his Pegasus Knights slamming into my useless Horseman Archers, which I'm fine with. And then during the magic phase, I was able to stop most of his spells. He Irresistible Force through Wizen's Wild Form on this unit, so now they're +1 strength, +1 toughness, which I honestly didn't care about. It really wasn't something that I was overly concerned about. But he did Irresistible Force it through, and he ends up with a miscast 7. And as you can see, it only did 2 wounds. Two. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, somebody must have rolled really low. No, I wounded 5 or 6 times, and he made 3 5-up friggin' ward saves because the lady protects. This is my biggest problem with Bretonnia. Not the army, not the rules, not the fact that they get the ward save. It's the lady. I want her dead. I really, really do. I am 100% all for Nagash now because he's going to take the Lady of the Lake and he's going to rip her friggin' arms off, shove them down her throat, and boot her into the desert. I hate the lady. That 5-up ward save is literally supernatural, and it makes me sick. He made three or I don't know. He made a zillion friggin' ward saves, 5-up ward saves, and it just I want to meet the lady so I can end the lady. You know what I mean? Then over here in the shooting phase, his archers, all like 40 of them, shoot at my Titan and are able to slip 1 wound through, which was a little embarrassing. I won't lie to you. Then over here, the Horseman Archers are powdered. I mean, I don't even think that it got to combat res. I think he just literally butchered 5 Horseman Archers, which are fine. They suck. And then he overran. He saw his mistake and he tried to get away. He actually overran like 8 or 9 inches, but it wasn't enough. I still saw him no problem. So we go over here to top of 2, and as you can see, my Chariots slam into the flank of the Pegasus Knights, which I was very happy about. Charge, flank, banner, impact hits, all the trimmings I was looking to kill. Meanwhile, my Necrosphinx, I really wanted to see what he could do, so I put him right in front of his Knights Errant, and I was like, bring it on. I want you to hit him. Whatever you're going to do, I want to see what this thing can do in combat, and I want to see right now, because it's supposed to be really good at killing high armor save guys, right? That was... It's strength 5, so I really don't know how that logic ever came about, but you don't know if you don't try, right? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, so I'm trying it. My War Sphinx and my Titan move around slightly. The Titan to countercharge his Knights if they come in with the Skeleton Warriors, hopefully. The Sphinx just to have better angles and everything. And then my Carrion moved up to try to pull his Knights forward so that maybe they'd slam into him and then my War Sphinx could countercharge. That was really the only plan I had. Here's a better picture of the Chariots slamming into the Pegasus Knights because, yay! During the magic phase, I'm able to get the Killing Blow thing off on the Necrosphinx, which is awesome, because now his Killing Blow and Heroic Killing Blow all work on a 5-up. So I was really, really looking forward to this fight, because I figured he was going to charge me. During the shooting phase, I'm able to land the template right on his Bowman. I kill like 8 or 9 of them, and they make their break check because he rolls like a 2. It's so friggin' ridiculous. But it is what it is. You can't fault a guy for rolling well. Then during the shooting phase over here, I get Wizen's Wild... Or, I'm sorry, I get Wizen's Wild Floor. I use my Medusa Stalkers to Care Bear Stare at the Grail Knights. I do 8 wounds. 8 wounds! No armor save. Yeah. 1 guy dies. You figure it out. 8 wounds. like 7 6s. It was absolutely ridiculous. Maybe not 8, maybe it was closer to 5, but it was a ridiculous amount of wounds, and he made a ridiculous amount of ward saves because the lady is a ridiculous amount of needing to be dead. But what can you do? Then over here in combat, it's a little lackluster. I'm able to kill a Pegasus. I think I put a wound on another one. I take a wound for my trouble, but, you know, with charge, flank, banner, and like 3 wounds to banner and a wound, I win by 4. He needs, I think, like a 3 to stay. He comes close, but he breaks. I pursue, and he gets away, which, not happy about that. But he did get away, so what can you do? But he's on his way out. If he does rally, I'm going to be able to charge him again and finish him off, so it is what it is. So we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement. And the only thing that happens is his Grail Knights charge my Carrion. Nothing else really happens. His Pegasus Knight does not rally. He rolls like a 10, so he's off the table. And his other knights don't charge a Necrosphinx, which was really disappointing, but what can you do? And then his what's it called? His Paladin on a Royal Pegasus, he moves over to get an angle on my archers, and the hope for me there was that I could get something in the way before he could do that, because I didn't want to die. I didn't want my Hierophant to die. Other than that, yeah, his other unit of Knights Errant move up, and his Bowmen stay put. There's a better picture of his Grail Knight slamming into my Carrion, which is just awesome. And there's a better picture of his Royal Pegasus, his Pegasus Knights not coming back. Nothing happens in his magic phase, and his shooting phase is easily resisted. So we go into combat, and lo and behold, his army, or his Grail Knights with General BSB and all the Trimmins are able to kill 3 Carrion. I was stunned. He doesn't overrun, he just reforms to face. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and there's a little bit. Now I'm pissed, so my Necrosphinx goes into his Knights Errant because I need to friggin' kill something. My Chariots move over, they do a swift reform and come as close as they can back into this fight. My Catapult and my Casket reform just to kind of look at everything. My Skeleton Warriors reform. My Titan moves to get in the way of his Paladin, the hope being that he can't Heroic Killing Blow my Titan. We played closed list. I didn't know what he had, but I knew he probably had Heroic Killing Blow on that guy, because why would he not? That was really the hope. I really didn't know what else to think or do. I was scared. And the kitty moves up to... I think I tried to charge his Grail Knights and I failed, so what can you do? Here's a better picture of my Necrosphinx slamming into his Knights Errant, which I was kind of hoping they were going to break and flee, but they didn't, so I make the combat, and that's good enough. And then over here in the shooting phase, I roll like 24 or 26, something crazy amount of hits. And yeah, the only thing that's left is a couple of his knights and his, his Paladin. I was able to kill his damsel, so that was something. Then over here in combat, I don't even know what to tell you. I hit once, I Killing Blowed, and he made his 5-up ward. He counterattacked and was able to slip a wound through. Even though I'm toughness 8, he was able to roll a 6. My armor save is crap. I didn't get my ward save off because he scrolled it. So the Necrosphinx is quickly becoming one of my least favorite models, units, things in the whole book, which is unfortunate because I was really hoping that was going to be this was going to be one of those books where everything's a good choice. And no, the Necrosphinx is really starting to prove to be more of a liability than any kind of boon, which is really disappointing. But yeah, I actually lose this combat because I charged. He had 2 ranks and a banner, so I lost by 2, something like that. And yeah, that just sucks. Just friggin' sucks. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and yeah, his Paladin on a Royal Pegasus charges into my Titan and makes it no problem. Both of his Knights Errant and his Grail Knights double charge the War Sphinx, so I was pretty sure he was dead. That was pretty much it. Everything else he has is dead or in combat or Bowman. There's a better picture of the War Sphinx being charged by 1 1/4 lances, I guess you could say. And here's a better picture of his Paladin slamming into my Titan, and I was really, 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 really hoping that he wasn't going to get Heroic Killing Blow. I was really hoping he wasn't going to roll that 6. During his magic phase, he gets thrown a Vines off on his Prophetess, and that was fine. I actually let that one go. And then he gets nothing else off in a magic phase, so we go over here to the shooting phase, and the peasants kill 4 skeletons, which was kind of impressive, actually. We go over here into combat, and not only does he get heroic killing blow off, but he gets it off spectacularly. He hits all 3 times, and he doesn't wound with 2 of them, but the one that he does wound is a 6. So the Titan's dead. Ah! You know what? It's just frustrating because it's like, come on! I have 5 attacks with the stupid friggin', what's it called? Necrosphinx, and I can't roll any killing blows. I can't even roll any hits. You have 3 attacks with this stupid thing, and you get heroic killing blow on him. Oh, does that make me sick? But, you know, I throw my little hissy fit. I pick up my Titan. I throw him across the room. No, I didn't throw him across the room. I put him gently on the other side of the table. And, yeah, his Paladin overruns into my archers. Thank goodness I had moved my Liches into the Skeleton Wars because I had a really bad feeling that this was going to happen. Damn it! Then over here in combat, the War Sphinx is a million times better than any other of the constructs that I have, except for maybe the Titan, but the Titan is good for different reasons. My War Sphinx is able to not only weather the double charge, but he actually kills 4 knights. I think I even put a wound on his Paladin. So I do 5 wounds. He was able to do... Oh gosh, I don't even remember, but I do like 5 wounds. He charged, he has a rank, he's got like 2 banners, he's got banner shenanigans, and I think he's got a musician. So he wins by 1, I couldn't care less, and you know, I can't remember exactly how it all worked out, but in the end, the War Sphinx ends up with 4 wounds on him, but he's still alive. He doesn't, you know, obviously crumble or anything like that, so there's hope. And I'm very, very excited about that because I could actually even heal this thing up if I could get a decent magic phase. So, very excited about that. The War Sphinx is awesome. And then over here, this absolute effing failure of a Sphinx. Not only does he not hit and wound anything, but he takes another wound. I lose combat by a bunch. He takes a wound from that. This piece of sugar honey iced tea. This useless, motherless piece of junk. I wish I had never raised it from the sands. What garbage. What absolute garbage. Strength 5 sucks on a monster. Killing blow sucks if you can't roll 6s. And even when I did roll 6s, he was making his ward saves. I mean, yeah, I hit and wounded 4 times. No killing blow. Well, I think there was 1 killing blow. He makes the mother effing ward save. He makes all of his mother effing armor saves. Screw this monster. It's useless. It's garbage. Absolute bona fide trash. If I ever field it again, it's because I'm having a relapse of retardation. Screw this model. You'll never see it again. Well, I take it back. You'll probably see the model again. You won't see a Necrosphinx on my list ever again. The War Sphinx took 2 lance charges. Granted, one of them was Knight Errant, so they were pretty messed up. But he had 3 characters and a lance into him of Grail Knights and survived. Not only did he survive, but he did really mother effing well. The Necrosphinx charged a unit of core Knights Errant and hasn't killed 1 because it's a useless piece of shit model, and if I ever use that unit again, I deserve to lose. Period. F that model. F that unit. So, we go over here to top of 4. Sorry about the rant, but I'm feeling pretty strong about that piece of garbage unit. And as you can see, it's more of the same. My Skeleton Warriors charge into the Knights Errant because I'm trying to bail my Sphinx out of this fight. My Chariots move up as quick as they can to try to get into the combat, either with the Necrosphinx or with the Archers, whatever he can do to get in there. My Stalkers run around the side as fast as they can because they weren't within 12 of the generals, so they couldn't march, but they were moving around as fast as they can to try to get into the flank of one of these units so that I can, you know, do something and actually salvage this game. And everything else stays where it's at because it's War Machines, and, you know, we don't move War Machines. There's a better picture of my Skeleton Warriors slamming into the Knights Errant because I'm just trying to get combat res on my side over here. And, well, nothing else happens. My magic phase, I roll like a 3, and he's able to use his, I think his Silver Mirror or whatever to stop the only spell I can try to cast, which was the Bubble Ward. And, yeah, he stops it. So what can you do? My shooting phase doesn't see anything happen because I think I shot at the archers with this catapult and it didn't do anything. I like it deviated way off the unit. The chariots shoot at him, but I'm not able to do anything there. So we go into combat over here, and his luck turns. He flubs. He only kills one archer, if you can believe it. I don't do any wounds back to him, but I have a rank and a standard to his charge. I win by 1. And he breaks. He gets away, but he breaks. The archers took a charge from a paladin on a Royal Pegasus, and he bounced off of them. Those archers are better than my mother effing Necrosphinx. Do you understand? Do you understand what happened here? Took a charge from a paladin that had heroic killing blow and all that other good stuff, and they took it and they rebuffed it. They poof, get away from me. And they almost had him. They almost had him. He got away, which is too bad, but that is awesome. So yeah, he ends up getting away. I did pursue, but couldn't catch him. Oh, this is a good unit. This is a good bunker. Then over here in combat, unfortunately, he was able to slip one more wound through past my past my War Sphinx. He didn't make a 6-up regen. Or his armor save. I can't remember exactly what the damage was, but he slipped it through and he kills my War Sphinx. But what a trooper. Absolutely love that guy. I am able to kill his paladin in a challenge with my Tomb King, and I am able to kill one Knight Errant with charge, 3 ranks, banner, and all that. I was able to actually win this combat, but only by a couple because he's got some banner shenanigans going on. It's really unfortunate, though, because neither unit breaks, which really, really sucked. I needed at least one unit to break here, and neither did. They end up perfectly fine. I can't reform because I've already got characters in base-to-base with them, so there's no reforming or anything like that. But he doesn't have his Grail Knights in combat anymore, and so they're looking at the flank of my Skeleton Warriors. And just one unit into my flank I could deal with. But then I look at my Necrosphinx, or as I like to call him, the worst unit ever created by mortal man. And I'm like, this friggin' loser, if he loses this combat and those knights can charge the other flank, I'm in a ton of trouble next turn. And that's exactly what this absolute effing moron does. He gets himself killed. What a useless piece of trash. Absolute garbage. Absolute. No arguing. No arguing. If I ever run this friggin' unit again, somebody find me and slap me in the face because, ugh, I'm just absolutely fed up disgusted with this piece of shit unit. Strength 3. He just, due to the odds, he was able to get another wound through, and with 2 ranks and a banner, he killed it. And I'm glad it's dead. The only reason I didn't throw this thing across the friggin' room is because, well, I wasn't really that mad about it. But at the same time, I really like this particular model. The Archon on this Morghast or whatever it is really cool. So I'm hoping to maybe use it as a Wars Kitty or something like that one day. Maybe even like a War Kitty with a Tomb King in it, just because why not? But yeah, the Necrosphinx is a epic sack of garbage, and I will never run that thing in my armies again, ever. Ever. Even if there's a fire. So, now that he's done this, now this unit of knights is going to have... This unit of knights that was in a friggin' fight with a Necrosphinx for 3 rounds that took 0 wounds is able to charge into my unit of Skeleton Warriors next turn. And that is just awesome. So we go to bottom of 4 after movement, and my opponent does exactly what he should do. Both units of knights charge into both the flanks of the Skeleton Warriors. Can you effing believe it? Ah! Nothing else moves in his army. Well, I think his Royal Pegasus rallies, so that's something. But yeah, it just turns around to laugh because, oh my god! There's a better picture of both of his lances slamming into my Skeleton Warriors, and I'm puckered here something fierce. And then, bolstered by just how well the fight is going, those archers, shooting through a forest no less, are able to plink my damn one of my chariots out of the unit. So, awesome. Nothing happens in his magic phase, and we go into combat, and it is as brutal as it looks. Not only has my army just completely been crushed by my opponent. And well done, I might add. But my dice have responded in kind. I am unable to hit and wound with any real effect. I'm in a challenge with a mother effing unit champion in that unit on my left flank there. And my Tomb King flubs. All 5 of his attacks, he flubs. I think, no, I'm sorry, it's more than that. It's, what is it, 4 or 5? It's 6 attacks at strength 7 or something like that. I flub. I fail to hit with every single attack. And I take a wound for my trouble, which is just outstanding. So my Tomb King fails to do anything. My army doesn't make any regen saves. Not one. I rolled 17 mother effing wound worth of dice because I have my Hierophant in the unit. Didn't make one mother effing regen save. Not one. The only thing that came out of this, the only good thing that came out of this is I was able to kill the unit of Knights Errant. The one remaining knight died. That's it. And I believe it made his paladin panic, and he fled like 3 inches. It wasn't very far. That's the only thing that happened. These, and it's the Necrosphinx's fault. I could have handled this fight easily. Well, okay, I take that back. Not easily, but I could have handled this fight had just his Grail Knights made it into combat. But no, that useless piece of garbage Sphinx friggin' got killed without doing anything to the unit. I should have had my skeleton archers charge it in the beginning of the damn combat, or beginning of the game, and killed the stupid Necrosphinx because it was totally useless. Totally useless. Did nothing but help my opponent. So yeah, I'm stuck here. I've got 2 lances in each flank. I can't even reform. I'm just so miserable, angry at my friggin' Necrosphinx right now. I just want to burn the damn thing. I need a nap in a bottle. So we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and I don't have any really. I move my stalkers up to Care Bear Stare at the Pegasus on the Paladin guy because I want points. I need them, and that's really it. I'm sorry, and the chariots charge into the flank of the Knights Errant in a vain hope to actually do some wounds and maybe kill some of these guys and maybe break a unit, maybe win combat, maybe save my warriors. I don't know what I can do. I'm really panicking here. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Cursed Blades off on my Skeleton Warriors in the hope against all other hopes that I'm able to Killing Blow something. During the shooting phase, I'm able to Care Bear Stare his Paladin to death, which is awesome. Thank God for the little things, huh? So I got some points at least. Then over here, I shoot at the archers, and I misfire 2. Because I don't even know. You know what? Now I say all this, but all the bad karma and stuff, all the stuff that's happening. Number 1, my opponent has played his Bretonnians friggin-tacularly. I mean, wow. Just wow. He has been ready for every negative that I have, every mistake I've made, every opportunity that he had to capitalize on. Not only was he well positioned to do it, but he was smart enough to take the charge or to do these things, and he nailed it. And you know what? He's not rolling out of the box, guys. He's rolling average to low average, and okay, yeah, he's made a few more armor and ward saves than I would have liked, but in the grand scheme of things, he's really just kind of rolling average. His tenacity, though, and the way he's playing these Bretonnians, flawless. And what can you do? Sometimes you got to get your teeth kicked down your throat. And you know what? Apparently I had too many teeth in my head at the time. But yeah, my catapult here decides that it wants to take the easy way out and explodes because it's 90 points. Then over here in, what's it called? Combat, I do a little bit better, but not much. I'm able to kill his unit champion, and my chariots are only able to slip 1 wound through because he makes armor and ward saves just... It's difficult to actually stomach how many he made. And that's because the Lady of the Lake needs to get pooped on. Seriously, if you live near a body of water, I'm asking you to go out there and just raw diarrhea into the water. And I want you to let the lady know it's from Lord Tremendous because I hate her. I hate her almost as much as I hate elves. It's a very, very close second, you know? But my skeleton warriors, they don't take as many wounds. I mean, obviously a lot died, but they still hang in there, and the charge really did help. And I had the flank until the crumble checks, but I think I lose by 4 or 5. So the chariots die. I lose a handful more skeletons, but now I'm just hoping that I can last through like 4 more rounds of combat so that maybe my skeletons survive and maybe I can salvage this game. I don't even know. I've got so little left on the table. I'm literally just like I don't know what to do anymore. Everything's blowing up. So I'm scared. So we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and there's none because everything's deader in combat. During his magic phase, I have to let something through. I stop everything I can, but he gets Flesh of Stone off on this unit, and that's perfectly fine because the only thing that's going to get through is Killing Blow anyway, and so whatever. Toughness 10 doesn't matter if I can roll a 6. If. Actually, I'm sorry. This was actually a irresistible force, and his prophetess rolls a miscast 7 because even though he's got Throne of Vines up, he rolls a 1, so he's got to take the miscast. But once again, he's making those 5-up board saves like it's going out of style. He takes what? His BSB ends up shirking the wound, no problem. His Lord takes a wound, but he makes three or four ward saves. I don't know. He makes 3 ward saves. 3 out of like no, he makes 3 out of 6 of his ward saves, and then his what's it called? His general has like a 4-up ward or something like that, and he ends up taking a wound. But so 3 Grail Knights die, which means his miscast actually did more wounds to his knights than my piece of garbage Necro Sphinx. So to hell with that guy. But it also ends up hurting his magic phase pretty bad. He's got like 1 more spell he could cast, and it's Wisdom's Wild Form, and he gets it off right there. So now they're +1 strength, +1 toughness, so things are going great. Then over here in combat, yeah, the rest of the skeletons get squished. With combat res and everything like that, I, as you can see, literally do nothing. He makes every ward and armor save that he's asked to make. It was... Actually, you know what? It was actually really impressive. It wasn't so friggin' depressing. It was really, really frustrating to have that happen and to watch him just make all of his armor and ward saves, like literally all of them. But it is what it is. My general ends up in a challenge with his general, and we're not able to do anything to each other. And in the end, I think 1 wound bled off into my Hierophant. But at this point, the game is over. I'm just trying to kill as many as I can before bottom of 6, because what else can I do? You know, I'm not going to quit. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and there's not a whole lot. The Stalkers charge into the flank of the Knights Errant because I'm grabbing at straws, right? I mean, I can't win the game if I don't break one of these units. I have to break both of them to win, but maybe if I can break the Knights Errant, I can do something against his Grail Knights, you know, in the shooting phase. I have no idea. I'm hoping against hope that I can get in here, and with Strength 5, maybe I can slip a wound or 2 through on the Errant Knights, but the way my opponent is rolling, I don't even think at Strength 10 I could slip anything through. My archers just kind of wheel to shoot at his bowman, and my casket is just gonna casket it up, because whatever. During the magic phase, I'm able to get the 5-up board save off, and I think I heal like an archer or 2, and I don't think the Stalkers had any wounds on them, but it's a bubble ward, so it's a 5-up safe. It's something. In combat over here, it's not great. I ended up losing combat yet again. My general and his general can't do anything to each other. My Stalkers actually did pretty well. They actually wounded a lot. Unfortunately for them, my opponent was using dice that only seemed to have a 6 side, sometimes a 5, and he made all of his armor and ward saves, every single one. He slips 2 wounds through on my Stalkers, and because my dice have 6 sides, and they were tired of rolling anything higher than a 1. So my Stalkers ended up taking a wound or 2. No, I'm sorry. My Stalkers took no wounds. They ended up taking those 2 wounds from, what's it called? Crumble checks or whatever, because I lost this combat. So now my general has 2 wounds, my Stalkers have a couple of wounds on them, and my Hierophant is dead. But we're using Undead Legion rules, so there's no crumble. Thank you, Nagash. So we go over here to bottom of 6 after movement, and you're looking at it. No movement because why? During his magic phase, he gets Flesh of Stone off again. There was nothing I could do to stop it. And then his archers take careful aim at my archers and drop like 6 of them. It was actually kind of impressive. I was like, oh crap. So, I've got a unit of archers left, or a rank of archers left at least, so that's something. And then in combat, I don't believe his general does anything. The general healed his wound in when he got Flesh of Stone off, but I don't believe my general is able to do anything to his general, and I lose this combat again. I think I kill one knight errant with the stalkers, which was kind of nice. But yeah, my general dies. He does his curse, and do you want to guess what happened? All the ward saves happen. Yay! I literally checked the table for magnets, and I didn't. I'm sorry, didn't find any, which was a shame because I really, really wanted to think that physics and probability factors were actually a thing, but apparently they're just guidelines. They're not really rules. So, yeah, my Tomb King dies. Nothing happens from the curse because the Lady of the Lake is a piece of garbage, and there's the end of the game. I got raffle stomped. Oh, I thought I had it. I really did. I thought I had good tactics. I thought I had everything set up right. And no, my opponent played beautifully. Really good game. Can't complain about a loss like this. Trusting in a Necrosphinx was a terrible idea. I know that now. You'll never see it in my list again. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want in the comment section. Don't care. Never again. Never again. My Carrion, I probably could have redirected better with those guys. I know I should have moved them differently now. At the time, I wasn't thinking about it. But whatever. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, and I'm going to learn from this. But my Skeleton Warriors charging in with the War Sphinx and stuff like that, I probably should have moved the War Sphinx back. I was curious. I wanted to see just how tough he was, and the fact that the War Sphinx survived probably hurt me more than helped me, but it was still really cool to see that he was able to withstand that kind of a charge. The Necrosphinx, once again, go straight to hell. The Stalkers did well. But yeah, just a series of unfortunate events, and my opponent played his army like a well-tuned piano. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him. He really did well, and he deserved this victory. He really did. But you know what? I'm done giving him the mouth hug, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You are never going to be able to get better banners than this. There is no company, there is no talent scout, there is no entity on the planet that's going to get you banners better than this. Custom banners for your custom army. You want better paint scores. You want that little edge that makes your army better than the guy next to you. Sick of running, going to a tournament and getting that paint score that's just a few points lower than the guy that literally sneezes on his army. And you can't figure out why? Get these banners and make your army really pop, really stand out. Send this guy an email, tell him what you want, and get yourself some banners. It's totally worth it. All right, guys and gals, there it is. Token Gal is back, and she's back in full operation mode of making tokens. So if you missed out before she went and got married and became Mrs. Token Gal, or however that works, this is your chance. Get your tokens now. Send her an email. Send her your monies. Get yourself some tokens. They're dirt cheap, solid gold quality. You're not going to be disappointed. Tell her Tremendous sent you. She'll probably know. But yeah, get these tokens. They're so much better than just using dice. They're so much easier to remember everything. You don't have to worry about your cards getting lost, stolen, ripped, torn, whatever. And, they're glass beads, cool high-def pictures. Totally worth it. Get yourself some tokens. You won't regret it. Unleashed Wargaming's painting services is back, guys. I took it down for a little bit while I redid the ad and added some of his newer pictures, but as you can see, he does amazing work. He's based out of the US. He does solid, quality work to all armies. I mean, you saw the pictures, you've seen the quality, you've seen the vibrant colors and the attention to detail and everything. I mean, that banner is free-handed. I mean, how are you not going to like something like that? So if you're like me, and you hate painting, but you don't have an awesome wife to do all your painting for you, give this guy an email, talk to him about what you need, and he's going to knock it out for you. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be embarrassed when you play your army at, your local store, at GTs, or local GTs at your store, or however the heck you want to play. You'll have a painted army. It's going to be a beautifully painted army to your specifications. How can you go wrong? Send him an email, get your army painted, and quit embarrassing yourself. Tell him Tremendous sent you. Ooh. But yeah, it was an epic defeat for Lord Tremendous. I ended up losing my Tomb King, both my Lich Priests, my Necrotech, my Warriors, my Chariots, my Horseman Archers, my War Sphinx, my Necro Sphinx, a piece of garbage wrapped in leathery burnt bacon, my Catapult, my Titan, and my Carrion. The Bretonnians lost is Pegasus Knights, is Paladin on the Royal Peg, Paladin just on a horse with the Relic Sword or something like that, and 1 unit of Knights Errant. So I did kill some of them, not nearly enough, but I did kill some of them. But I gotta be honest with you, I thought I had this. I really did. Right up until I realized I didn't, which was like turn 4. All right, I'll be honest, turn 6. But it was like, poop. I don't know if you could tell or not, but the Necro Sphinx is officially on my bad side. What an epic piece of garbage that unit is. For 200 plus points, I expect something spectacular. And I get it with the War Sphinx. With the War Sphinx, I get something so beautiful, it literally should be painted in angel tears. With the Necro Sphinx, I literally get used toilet paper after a bender at a Mexican restaurant. If I never feel that thing again, it'll be too soon. But let's talk about the good stuff. The War Sphinx. A double charge from lances, and not only survived, but won the combat. I love the War Sphinx. I mean, yeah, the Flaming Breath and some luck had a lot to do with it, but what a spectacular unit. The War Sphinx is the pwn. Anybody who doesn't believe that, I'd love to play it again. No, I know I probably got lucky and stuff like that, but the War Sphinx is really good. I really like it, and I'm going to take it in every list that I can. It's too good not to take. It's like not taking a casket. The skeletons actually held up really well considering how much abuse they took. My dice took a dump on me in that one critical combat, but for the most part, I'm not blaming this one on my dice. My dice did fail me in a couple of critical spots, but to be perfectly honest with you, my opponent just outplayed me. And he was just rolling average, maybe a little bit better than average with his ward saves and stuff and his armor saves, but honestly, not if he was. It was pretty easy because he does have high armor saves and stuff like that. It was just so frustrating with the Necro Sphinx. I'm sorry, I know I keep going back to that, but it pisses me off. It's like the Marauder Horseman all over again. But yeah, you got to admire my opponent's tenacity too. He never quit, and it won him the game. He kept going. He kept to his plan. He did what he had to do, and he earned this victory. And I was impressed by him. I got to admit, there was no shame in this loss. It was earned by a superior opponent. And like I said before, I know I used my carrion poorly this game. I know better than that. I should have angled them way different and moved it so that his Grail Knights couldn't be in that position. Completely my fault. I suck with chaff. I'm working on that. Not the carrion fault. I really do like the carrion, actually. Not a huge fan of the Skeleton Horseman Archers, but really do like the carrion. And I'm going to try to keep them in my list if I can fit them in there. But I do have some plans for this list to change it up. Obviously, I'm going to have like over 200 points to play with. So, yeah, that's where I'm kind of at right now with the army. So, we'll see. You'll see what happens in the next battle report. But you know what? It was a damn good game. I played a damn good opponent, and I want a mother effing rematch because I think the Necro Sphinx is what threw the wrench in the plans. Damn it! No, 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 no. My opponent just outplayed me. But this is going to do it for this battle report number 160, if you can believe it. As always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as you can. But yeah, guys, thanks.